Alright guys, Sean here again. This is episode 9 or 10 or something. We have a 2014 Harley Davidson 48. I'm really excited to take this for a spin. This isn't normally my style, but you know what, you gotta admit, this is a cool looking bike. Really excited to take it for a test drive and tell you guys all about it. Alright, let's get it started. Now my first impression is, man, this thing feels really small. But actually, when I put it next to the this thing was sitting next to the Honda Rebel, it really looks the same size. But the engine's 5 times as big. This is actually the oh shoot, did I put a tag on this thing? This is actually the 1200 Evolution engine that they put in this 48. The difference is this 1200 Evolution engine is actually fuel injected instead of carbureted like they used to do, which is pretty nice. It's definitely a nice feature to have a carbureted. Now the bike, I mean, it feels small, but I'm not. I almost feel more like sitting on a V-Rod or something like that. It's not uncomfortable. And it definitely looks like a cool bike. I'll definitely give it that. The front end of this thing has a stock 30-degree rake, so it actually handles very well. It feels really nimble. This is my first time ever driving a Sportster. I think the 883 might be too small, just too small of an engine. But this 1200 is not bad. It actually produces 73 foot-pounds of torque. I couldn't find any horsepower specs for it, but 73 foot-pounds of torque is actually pretty decent. Actually feels pretty light. That's because it is. It actually weighs around 540 pounds. They say 560 something wet. Normally the dry weight and the wet weight is you know, a difference between like 40 and 60 pounds. This thing has a very small fuel tank. That's the difference. That's why it's, you know, it's only 20 pounds more. This bike's got a good sound to it. I'm actually surprised, you know what I mean? It is a good look. It's loud, it's got that Harley. It's a loud Harley. But yeah, this ain't bad. This ain't bad at all. It's actually pretty comfortable rolling at, you know, 55, 60 miles an hour. There's no tachometer, so you don't know exactly how fast you're going, but that's alright. I like the looks of the 48. It's got that big front tire. The front tire is about as big as the back tire. I think it's a mean look. They were really going for an old style, but with some modern benefits, you know, like the fuel injection. And also it's got a pretty good braking system too. This has twin front and rear piston calipers, which is actually fairly advanced for a Harley Davidson Sportster. I'm gonna look behind me. and I'm gonna jump on the brakes, and it actually, I mean, the thing stops. Now, when I was reading about this, it said that it was a 6-speed transmission, but on the side of these bikes, on the primary cover, it has a number 5 on it. Howdy. Up here I'm gonna come to a stop and bang through the gears and actually count how many they are. I want to get to the bottom of this thing myself. Now this bike's not a touring bike. You know, no one's gonna take some big, you probably shouldn't take some big trip on it, although it would be interesting. But this is a, you know, a get around town bike. Cruising with your buddies, go for a little hour or 2-hour ride. It doesn't even have a seat on the back for the wife. Here's first gear. Second gear. Now we're in third gear. Fourth gear. Fifth gear. It's got 5 gears. The article I read was wrong. This is a 5-speed. But yeah, you're not going to go on any big, long touring trips with it. But in the same thing, if you're taking if you all you want to do is go to your buddy's house or go to the movies or something like that, or just go for a little ride around the river, you don't really want to be taking your 800-pound touring bike. You know, this is a little more relaxed. You can hit the corners a little faster, and you're just not pulling around more weight than you need. This is actually pretty fun. I'm surprised. Harley's been doing some pretty cool things lately, and I think the 48 is one of them. It's got a good amount of power. It's not fast, it's not a sport bike, but it's nimble enough that if you were a good enough rider, that you could keep up with your buddies in the corners on the twisties. And it's definitely a cool look. It's almost like riding a skeleton. You know, you feel like you should have more bike on you, but I'm kind of getting used to it, and it's kind of cool. We're in top gear. We're going about 50. We're going about the speed limit. And when I get on the gas, you know, it's got some power. It's got you know, it's gonna have no problem rolling on the highway. Once again, we are in beautiful Lancaster County, in the city of Mannheim, and I'm driving a 2014 Harley Davidson 48.